1440p gaming is the sweet spot because it's way nicer than 1080p resolution. However, it's not as demanding or as expensive as 4K. And as of right now, prices for PC components for this resolution are actually in a good spot. So if you're looking for a new PC to play at 1440p on high to ultra settings in high demanding games, or you want to achieve high FPS in esports games, then you are in the right place. I will show you 3 different gaming PC builds, going from the best price performance one to a more premium PC, and then the fastest, most high-end 1440p computer. You will also see the level of gaming performance that you can achieve with each system. That way, if you want to build one of these, you know what to expect. And by the way, the link to every gaming PC mentioned will be down below in the video description with the latest prices and availability in your region. My name is Valentino. That being said, let's start. First, let's start by talking about the best price to performance 1440p PC build. This one has the perfect value CPU in the Ryzen 5 7600X, which is a great processor for gaming or just any task, and the price by the time of filming is amazing for under $180. Now, in terms of gaming performance, if you are playing esports games or high CPU demanding ones, you are going to be achieving very high FPS because you also get an amazing graphics card, which I will be talking about in just a second. But to be exact, if you want to play games like Valorant or Fortnite or games like CS2, just most esports shooters at 1440p resolution competitive settings, you will be achieving between 240 to 360 plus FPS on average. So feel free to go with either a 240Hz or 360Hz 1440p display if you want to compete in these types of games. Now, for the graphics card, which is the other main component for gaming, you get the RX 9060 XT 16GB model, which is an amazing GPU in terms of price to performance for high demanding games at 1440p. In fact, you can expect very smooth frame rates at around 80 plus FPS on average in high demanding games on high to ultra settings. And here, to give you a reference, I am talking about games like Cyberpunk 2077, so this is great gaming performance at 1440p in high demanding titles. And if you want to play with FSR, which is the upscaling technology from AMD, you can expect even higher frame rates in these type of games depending on the settings. For the rest of the components, you get 32GB of DDR5 memory, which is going to be great in case you want to do something like content creation or any kind of productivity work, or maybe you want to do streaming while gaming, so having 32GB of RAM is going to be great. And then you get an aftermarket CPU cooler with RGB and plenty of airflow overall because you get the Montec X5M case, which in my opinion is one of the best value cases out there because you get 4 pre-installed RGB fans, so you don't have to install them yourself, and overall you get amazing airflow for the price. Here you also get 2TB of SSD, so you can install a bunch of games or a bunch of programs because you get plenty of space, and you get a really nice motherboard with Wi-Fi included and plenty of features for gaming. The total price for this system by the time of filming is around $1,000, and that's why I do think that this one is the best one when it comes to price to performance at 1440p. And of course, if you have a 1080p monitor right now, you will be achieving even higher frame rates. Now, if you're looking for a more premium quality 1440p system where you will be achieving amazing performance in any kind of game, then I do recommend you getting this next system on the list, which has the Ryzen 7 7700X, which is going to be great because it has 8 cores instead of 6. So if you're a content creator, those extra cores are going to be amazing when it comes to performance. And then for gaming, you get the Nvidia RTX 5070, which is one of the best graphics cards out there for 1440p, and you will be achieving well over 100 plus FPS on average on high to ultra settings in high demanding games. This is very strong performance, and you can even play with ray tracing enabled depending on the game and depending on the exact settings. And you also get DLSS, which is the best upscaling technology in case you want to play at 4K down the line and you want to achieve smooth frame rates in high demanding games at the highest resolution. And then when it comes to esports shooters, you can expect well over 300 plus FPS on average, and in some easy to run esports games like CS2 or Valorant, you can expect from 400 to 500 plus FPS depending on the settings. So feel free to go with a 480Hz display if you want to compete in those types of games. Here you also get an aftermarket CPU cooler, this time a bigger, more premium one, and you get one of the best cases in the entire market in the Montec XR case. This one has 3 pre-installed fans, plenty of airflow, and the build quality is actually pretty good. Just like before, you also get 2TB of SSD, which is plenty of storage for both gamers and creators, and you also get 32GB of DDR5 memory, which, as I said before, is going to be great if you want to do some type of productivity work or streaming or content creation. By the way, here you get a more premium quality motherboard with Wi-Fi included as well, and you get an A-tier rated power supply to supply all the power that you need for this premium system. Now, the price for this one by the time of filming is around $1,380, which is still a very solid price for a 1440p ultra system. And by the way, here, if you want more of a price to performance system, yet you want to still play very smoothly at 1440p with the RTX 5070, I do recommend you downgrading the CPU from the 7700X to the 7600X, which is going to be very similar in terms of gaming performance. So again, if you're more gaming focused, this is going to save you around $80 and will give you basically the same level of gaming performance in every game. So if you make the downgrade, the price for the entire system will be around $1,300. And don't worry if you got lost and you don't know much about PC components, because I will leave every PC with the alternatives mentioned down below in the video description. Last but not least, if you're looking for the most high-end, fastest performance system for 1440p, I do recommend you getting this next one on the list, which has the Ryzen 7 9800X3D CPU, which is the fastest gaming CPU in in the entire market, and it's also very fast for content creation and productivity work. But if you want to play high CPU demanding games, or let's say you want to play esports shooters, you can max out any monitor refresh rate, whether it's at 1440p, 4K, or 1080p. Alongside this fast CPU, we need a very fast GPU as well. That's why I went with the Nvidia RTX 5070 Ti, which is one of the fastest GPUs in the entire market for just any resolution. And when it comes to 1440p, you can expect around 120 plus FPS on average in high demanding games, high to ultra settings, so you can easily play even high demanding titles with ray tracing enabled, which is going to be beautiful in terms of visuals. And then if you want to upgrade to 4K down the line, you can expect 80 plus FPS in these high demanding games, high to ultra settings, without any form of upscaling technology. So if you want to play with DLSS enabled, you can expect even higher frame rates depending on the game and depending on the settings. Here you also get a liquid cooler for the CPU, which is going to be great, not only in terms of cooling, but also in terms of aesthetics. And then talking about aesthetics, for the case here, I went with the Monte King 65 Pro, which looks beautiful, and it's a really nice premium case overall. You also get 32GB of DDR5 memory, so great for streaming and content creation, and 2TB of SSD, which, as I said before, is plenty of storage. Not only that, but you also get an 8-tier rated power supply, and you also get a premium quality motherboard, once again with Wi-Fi included and plenty of features for gaming and content creation. Now the price for this system is around $1,850, so it's quite expensive, but it's the most premium quality 1440p system in my opinion that you should get. And of course, if you have more money, you can swap the 5070 Ti with the RTX 5080 for more performance. I just wouldn't recommend you doing that because the 5080 is not that much faster than the 5070 Ti, but if you want more of a future-proof 1440p system, upgrading to the 5080 if you have the budget to might be a decent idea. On the other hand, if you want to spend less and achieve very similar gaming performance, I do recommend you downgrading the CPU from the 9800X3D to the 7800X3D, which is very similar when it comes to gaming performance, especially at 1440p resolution. And then I do recommend you buying the 9070 XT graphics card instead of the 5070 Ti, which is the same actually when it comes to gaming performance, but you get FSR as your upscaling technology and you get worse levels of ray tracing performance. But overall, when it comes to pure gaming performance, it's going to be basically the same. By making this downgrade, the price will be under 1700 USD. You will be saving some money and basically getting the same level of gaming performance overall. So if you're more gaming focused and you want a premium quality 1440p system, yet you don't want to spend over 1800 bucks, I do recommend you making this downgrade, which once again you will find down below in the video description. And by the way, if you're not willing to build a PC yourself, I completely understand that. That's why I made an entire video talking about the best pre-built gaming PCs, where you will find already built 1440p systems that will be amazing for the price that you are paying. You will find that video in the top right corner of the screen. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.